So for more insight on this, we now welcome Professor Tamar Herman, a senior research fellow at the Israel Democracy Institute and professor at the Open University of Israel. And she joins us from Givatayim here in Israel. Professor, thank you so much for your time today. And a fourth election in 2 years. Is voter fatigue or apathy setting in? Talk us through the main findings of the survey. What stood out for you?
I would say that the indecisiveness of most of our interviewees, in the sense that indeed there is a significant number, about 16% of those who do not really know for which party are they going to vote, if at all. But they also hesitate between a certain party and a second party. And the fact that they actually do not see the light at the end of the tunnel, the fact that they think that the results will not be decisive. So it is as if they have gotten used to this reality of having elections every 6 months, 10 months, and so on and so forth. Being in a constant election campaign has become an acceptable reality for them in certain respects.
It does feel like people are in limbo waiting for the next round of elections. Survey respondents, though, were also asked about Benjamin Netanyahu's corruption cases. Is this a deal breaker for voters, or do people believe he can lead and be in court at the same time? What did the findings show?
Well, most voters who define themselves as being on the right do not see this as a real obstacle for his next term to be, if he is elected, of course, because they see the court case as a kind of a scheme or a plot against him, by what they see as the all the elites, the elites of the left, the judicial elites, and so on and so forth. So therefore, they don't see the court case as something that really captures his personality or his leadership, and therefore they see it as something that can go hand in hand with him being the prime minister.
And as you say, we know that, of course, being able to vote is part of the democratic process. But as you mentioned, 4 elections in 2 years. Is it time for the actual electoral system in this country to be revised? Your thoughts?
Well, now the question is what kind of a reform? Basically, the proportional representation that the system of proportional representation that we are using, in a way, is compatible with the political culture in Israel. I can't see Israel making do with, say, 2 parties. This doesn't work for the plethora of views, ideologies, subsectors, and what have you that Israel is actually putting forward for so many years. So there are some suggestions put on the table, for example, that the leader of the largest party will automatically become the next prime minister. However, we see that people that supported this idea before it has become clear that Likud would be apparently the largest party are now a bit more hesitant about their own suggestion or perceived reform that they would like to see implemented. So I don't think that the question is the electoral system. The question is that there is really a deep division almost in the middle between 2 parties in Israel.
Well, we certainly
are quite similar to liberal and to Republicans and Democrats in the United States.
Well, we certainly appreciate your insight